Hi, welcome to Physionic, where we learn the body from the macro to the micro. If that's something you think you'd be interested in, then consider subscribing. Hey everyone, this subscriber question comes from Instagram, where subscriber Owen Marcellus wants to know: should you start creatine on a cut or losing weight, losing body fat, whatever you want to call it? Okay, so I realize that people talk a lot about creatine, and for this particular question, it's not going to be a standard answer from me. I actually told him that I would say no. You should not start creatine immediately when you start losing weight, because you essentially have this flip over moment where you're going from maybe maintaining weight or gaining weight to losing weight. And if you haven't been taking creatine and then you start losing weight, let's say for that first week, and you start taking creatine at the same time, you could see that you see no weight loss. And that's incredibly discouraging. If you have for that first week or two, you've cut your calories, you're starting to get hungrier, and then you're seeing no weight loss because that creatine is going to mask some of that weight loss. The reason being that it pulls water into your musculature, as we are well aware of by now throughout all the different videos that I've done on creatine. But because you're pulling that water into the musculature, that's going to lead to water weight gain. So when you step on the scale and you actually check your weight, you're going to see no difference. You might even see a slight increase in your actual weight, even though you're in a caloric deficit and even though you did lose some body fat, or maybe you lost some water weight from glycogen. It will just be masked by the fact that you're taking creatine. That is, of course, if the creatine is effective, because as we know, all effective creatines lead to some level of water weight gain. So in that capacity, for the first week or two, I would not recommend that a person jump on creatine when they're losing weight. Now, going beyond that, 3-4 weeks and far beyond, 6 months, whatever it might be, I think then it might be a good idea to jump on creatine, mainly because you have those first 2 weeks where you actually see a decrease in your body weight. So then okay, I am in a calorie deficit, and therefore I know the creatine is not masking for that weight loss. So you're not somehow stably maintaining your weight or gaining weight, and then you don't have that demoralizing moment where you're like, oh, I'm already so hungry and I have to drop my calories even further. So I think just getting on the right track without any creatine for that first week or two is really beneficial just for your tracking, just so that you have an understanding of what's actually happening, so then you can make adjustments down the road. Then once you know you're in a caloric deficit because you've dropped those first 2 to 3 pounds or whatever it might be in the first week or two, then if you jump on creatine from there and then maybe you don't lose weight for a week or two after that, then at least you have some idea, okay, I was in a calorie deficit before, 1 week difference isn't going to suddenly jump me out of a caloric deficit. So it's most likely that creatine. Then you have a clear idea, don't sweat it, work through it another 2 weeks on creatine, see if your weight starts to go down, things of that nature. And if you're already on creatine, then it's nothing to worry about, because you already have those stable numbers from when you were trying to gain weight or when you were maintaining weight. So you don't have to worry about it. Once you start jumping into that caloric deficit, then you will see that immediate weight loss, even though you are continuing to take creatine. So that's the reason why it's just kind of more of a timing issue, just more of a weight tracking issue than it is with the actual creatine molecule. All right, hopefully that's informative. Hopefully that made sense. If you've got a different opinion, I'd be happy to hear it down below in the comments. And with that said, I hope I have the pleasure of speaking with you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Bye.